out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to Hoop Jargon.
It's going down. Playoff time.
What's
you know what it is. Yeah.
Another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Yes,
another beautiful day in Zamunda. I am very happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
Shout out straight No Chaser podcast episode 18. We going hard.
18.
Shout out to the early birds in the building. Omega Hogan. He got on a little early, but everyone's ready, man. Showed to the stadium an hour early. Full pass. Ready to go. Shout out to Kristen G. Hoop Jargon in the building. Yes, sir. You know what time
Kristen
it is.
G.
What's up, G?
What's up, baby?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you popping on, man.
Yeah, and so before we get started, let's talk about our show sponsors, man. Sponsored by ASAP Energy Drink and Jeanious Talks. And we're going to get a little more about those two entities, but we got to start the show off right. They show love.
Sponsors.
Yes.
Thank
love
you,
our
ASAP
sponsors.
Energy and Jeanious Talks.
Absolutely.
Yes,
all right, let's get it popping,
combination, because we about to get started ASAP, and we got some Jeanious here talking about some damn Cowboy football.
Yes, sir.
Threefold, God dog it. Threefold. See that ass. Well, yeah, man. So, we got a big playoff game. We know that. We can talk about that pointless game we had last week. A good old feel-good session as it was. As you know, we took down the Eagles 51-26. I have to say, before we get started, were you kind of surprised how they were hanging in there so early?
Yeah.
We're getting that run game going and Garner Minshew looking like, Joe Montana with those backups. Is it kind of alarming that they were able to move the ball so easily and so frequently before we kind of blew it open?
I wouldn't say so. I would say I was a bit confused and honestly a little concerned as to why we had our number one offense in there for so long. Okay, get you a little taste and get out of there, man. I mean, for crying out loud, we have not had the benefit of having a full healthy team all year long.
Correct.
It was a really, really unnecessary risk that we even took to prove what exactly, because the Eagles are still in the playoffs. We're still in the number 4 seed hosting the Wildcard game, like we said 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So why take those chances? It don't matter who your opponent is. You're going to have to host a game. You're going to have to come out there and win today. You want all your parts there as much as possible, healthy as possible. So I thought it was a bit of a from that perspective, I was more concerned about that more so than the actual X's and O's, because we built it up the way exactly it was. It's a meaningless game. It was a late season preseason game, and that's all it was.
Rich,
I attributed that to kind of what the three of us have been concerned with all year, and that's the management piece, the game management piece of Mike McCarthy. We've gone all year in different stretches, justifiably so, I might add, about the time management pieces and end of halves, end of games, decisions to go forward on fourth and whatever. Look on the 31 on the minus 31 yard line. Yeah. I mean, there's all these different things. I link those types of decisions. And I know we're gonna get into the playoff matchup here in a second today, but it's those types of decisions, those types of gambles that could end up costing you, man. And I thought it was a nice little dice roll that you got away with. Like you said, Rich, considering the fact that Dallas probably now is, the healthiest they've been all year, with like truly everybody back. I know Michael was out with the COVID protocol, but man, I'd forgotten about Blake Jarwin because he hadn't been there in a while. They got Blake Jarwin back, so
it's good to get him out there and get him.
Yeah, it's good to get him some reps. But with QB1 and Zeke has been fighting a bruised knee for what 6 weeks. I mean, man, Clemens been doing the job. Let him get that burn, but glad they got through it. To Cliff's question, not overly alarmed that they were, Gardner Minshew was looking like, Joe Montana 2.5. That they got it going, man. They did what they had to do, and end up handling the team at the end of it with really nothing to play for. with all the guys they had out like they should have. So the biggest takeaway, man, was they rolled the dice. They came away without a major injury, which would have everybody up in arms coming into the day's matchup.
Absolutely.
So just glad they got out of it, man, and it was a feel good deal. Again, not overly excited about the number of points and whatever else. It's just get everybody healthy and get your mind right for what we know is going to be a battle this afternoon. So there we go.
Absolutely. Well, I would say this. It was a little alarming to me. But I mean, they go out there playing with moxie. You got your lesser guys out there that they playing for a position next year, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a modicum of a way. It was impressive to see, as far as just you step back and just watching football. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, well, why are we not putting these dudes in the dirt? So I'm with y'all, not too alarming, but it's just something I noticed. I'm actually glad our first team played so long because, again, I always said this. I don't know who we are yet, man. Like, I mean, I knew who we were when we first started this podcast. I thought we was firing on all cylinders, ready to go.
Right.
But we sputter. You know what I mean? And so it was good to see them put drives together. It's good to see Dak comfortable and making plays. Cedric Wilson making plays. CeeDee Lamb, who been MIA for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see all that just click. Even if it's a meaningless football game, a glorified scrimmage, as it were. Right. I was happy to see that in a certain regard where, and if I'm being honest, we shouldn't be happy to see that. We should already know who we are, and we just rolling right on into the playoffs. But reality is we don't know. And so for me, it was good to see that on that level. Let me say that.
The continuity piece, Cliff, is there's some validity there, of course, because, regardless of the situation or the other team's circumstance, you want to be playing, we've heard all these old adages forever. You want to be playing your best ball, and you want to have some level of confidence and some level of consistency going in. So you mentioned some guys that played that contributed on the offensive end. I was encouraged. I will say this about our second round draft pick, Kelvin Joseph. Getting some burn and actually showing that you see some potential there, you see some promise of what can be a potential, especially going into camp next year. Kelvin Joseph, Trayvon Diggs, cornerback tandem, which I for one would love to see. I would love to see him step up in camp next year, take that proverbial second year leap forward, and really go out and compete and challenge for that position. But you see some of his playmaking ability, you see some of his physicality in the run game. So it was good to see guys like him get some burn. But from the offensive continuity standpoint, the thing I like about the playoffs, man, it's no secret. You're going to execute or you're not. And for Dallas, we've been saying this all year long. They got to line up and stop the run, and they got to line up and establish the run.
Boy, do they
get it done? Are they not? So, I mean, that's going to be the game. And I know we're going to get to some X and O stuff a little bit later on. But that's just what it is. But to see them at least go into it with some modicum of momentum is always a good thing. So I won't downplay that at all.
100 on point, man. Shout out to As Real in the chat. He over there trolling his ass off.
Talking a lot of noise there in that thread, in that chat there, man. What the other comment?
That kind of emotion, man. We get that. We welcome that.
He talking about Debo gonna steal a bike and all that. You realize Debo got his ass whooped at the end of the movie, right? You watch the whole thing. My grandma gave me that thing. You forgot about that part now, didn't you? When you want to talk. Yeah, I hope
the cart before the horses, man. Shout out to Good Brother, man. Great Britain. Got to meet him in Atlanta at the conference, man. $5 super chat said Giants fan here. Let's go down.
Let's go. Yeah, Giants fan. He can't be too good. Appreciate the support, though, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Appreciate the support. Despite your Giants. Lord, that's good stuff.
You know what, y'all? I forgot to tell y'all. We got a surprise for y'all. We got Lemieux.
That would be a tease in the broadcasting circuit.
We're gonna have somebody who plays sports.
No.
Yeah, he gonna be with us
on lemonade today on Straight No Chaser. We got my man Lemon Head.
Lemon Head is backstage.
Cornerback. Lock him down. Hook him.
Yes, sir. So we gonna have him up here.
The jailer. He put boys in handcuffs back in the day.
He come up here talking about that sorry ass team he likes. So yeah, man, we gonna have him up here.
Hey, sorry ass teams got fans too.
Yeah. Oh, Minnie
Yep.
Davis in the building. Minnie Davis. What's up,
Minnie.
girl? What's up, Minnie?
What's up, Manny?
Our super fan.
And Will, I got you in your
In the
question.
building.
We got a few things to cover. Hold up. Stinson was my little league coach. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
Nice.
you never know what we're gonna have for you.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
That's what's up.
So now this show's gonna be a little different because again the podcast has been moving. We actually got sponsors consistently.
Podcast.
So we
How
gonna
about
talk,
that?
you know, ASAP Energy Drinks and Jeanious Talk. So this is a Black-owned, veteran-owned company. They have natural ingredients inside their stuff, so you don't spike. Or they take some of the caffeine out, so you don't have this crazy brain rush. You know that you know how energy drinks will get you sometimes. Again,
Right.
Black-owned, veteran-owned. Brother, you can go
As
to
we say in the hood,
asapenergydrink.com.
you know, he don't give you the sugars.
You don't give you the sugar. Well, that sounds like some real ninja stuff right there.
Man, I got the sugars, man.
Y'all
But
check it
dog,
out.
it's a great product. I'm looking forward to getting me some of this ASAP. So I placed me a little order last night. I got some on the way.
Nice.
Already.
I ordered me some of that night ops, man. It looks good. So
Nice.
and that's exactly what I need, that energy, because you know it's old folks. We need a little extra something to get us to the end zone every day. So I'm looking forward to stepping on some of that night ops.
Man, I'm trying to move the chains on
Apple
first
flavor.
down. What you talking about, Rick?
What's that?
I'm trying to get that first down in.
You talking about end zone? Bro. I'm just trying to move the chains, man. I'm trying to get 4 more down. Dog.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
I'm
that's
just trying to
long and short
maintain
of it.
field position, bro. That's all I got left.
And I want to talk about our second sponsor, and that's going to be Jeanious Talks, man. So y'all, it's right here on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Jeanious Talks. They talk about life. They talk about relationships. They talk about sex. They talk about all the things that in our community that need to be said. Really good podcast. Y'all check those guys out at Jeanious Talks. Got the nice
Y'all
little
used to
Martin.
hear Jeanious Talks already. Y'all listen to us? Listen to them too.
I love that name. I mean, I
Love
love
the spelling of the.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
the James. That
Nice little play on words.
It's
That's
like
genius.
the non-football version of Straight No Chaser, because they
There
take
you
it
go.
straight to the point. No BS, no
Nice.
unfiltered, just straight blue magic talk.
Absolutely.
Raw and uncut.
nice.
Let's get it.
Nice.
All right, now we got that shit out the way. Let's get back. Oh, Brent in the building. What's up,
Oh.
Brent?
What's up,
Brad,
Brent?
what's up, man?
That's our
Like,
guy.
trolling his ass out. Look at my man. That's real.
See?
He said, "I just believe it."
I want a girl to believe in me.
Me, like fans believe in that Cowboy. You know what? And if you find that woman, boy, you'll be the happiest
Hold
man in
on
the
to
world.
it because you got something.
Hold on to it, but you got yourself something.
Make sure
That's
she's an
hilarious.
actual
That's
fan and
loyalty
not
right
an
there, bro.
affiliate, though.
Yeah, straight up. Facts. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Lemonhead up here, man. I want him to come and start talking about this old sorry team. Like,
Uh-oh, here he come.
Lemonhead, what's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our guy.
He over there texting.
What's
There
up
we
now?
go,
What's
there you
happening?
go. He in the building, man.
What's up?
You hear me?
What
Oh,
is
that?
there it
What
is. Got to wear that. I tell you, got to wear that C, baby. Got to wear that C.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you guys?
Y'all make sure y'all take a
Paradise.
screenshot of this.
Got-
This is the last time you're going to see a Chicago
Don,
Bear on TV.
People that they want to, huh?
I love it.
Now he was saying that's the last time we're gonna see a bear
What'd he
on
say?
TV. In a few months. You got a little delay going.
Great delay.
He got a little
Yeah.
delay.
Yeah, for about 8 months. For about 8 months, you won't see none of them,
About 8
none of the
months.
big C's on TV. Hopefully, we get a new coach, get a good coach.
Oh, okay. We went there. All right.
Well, I mean, Chicago Bears, if you're listening,
She'll get a good coach. off
there's
of
a
him.
guy right now on our show that got a headset on. I'm just saying. Just
sir.
throwing it out there. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. He got
The Chicago.
I know a dude that's got some Bears ties. He's got a headset on right now. I mean, y'all can call that man right there. You know what I'm saying? I can hook
he
y'all
already
up with
halfway
him.
ready.
You know what
Got
I'm
the
saying?
shirt
I
and
mean,
headset.
I'm just kind of throwing that out there.
There you go.
You know, living for Bear Coach. All right.
Shameless
guess
plug. But how you feeling, Lemonhead, man? What's your assessment of what's going on right now for the game for
I
the
can catch
49ers and Cowboys? Man, that delay monster is hitting us.
Well, I like right now. I'm liking the Cowboys, but the Cowboys, I think they're gonna do pretty good. They can't stop the run though just yet. They got to
That's fair.
worry about how to deal with the receivers. It's caught on what they got to do. I think for running wise, Cowboys got to deal with that. They can't stop. They can't stop. It's gonna be tough on them guys to do what they need to do. Um, but I do believe that the Cowboys going to win the game. But then personally, both teams beat me in the playoffs. So 49ers beat me in the NFC Championship, and the Cowboys beat me in the wild card game. But I think that if he comes to play like he played last week, he'll be all right. I think he'll play pretty good and do the job that he needs to do. 49ers got to run the ball. If they don't run the ball, they're not going to have a chance of winning the game.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that. That's kind of been the company line for a lot of people all week. Mm-hmm. Is that run game? They play bully ball, and we're gonna have to set the edges on them. Which I think, we're fine at setting the edge. Can we can we block up the middle? But we know the 49ers run to the outside a lot as well. So, is Randy Gregory on his job today? Is DeMarcus Lawrence on his job today? Those are gonna be two areas of concern. Is Micah gonna be able to get over there and help out as well? How do you gentlemen feel about that being an area of concern or just the area where the 49ers do so well? How do you see us stacking up against that? Anybody can go.
Well, I think there are
hard for the Cowboys to put heels back and just take off trying to rush the quarterback. So that's going to be tough on them.
The 49ers are really more of a two-pronged type of offense where they line up and punch you in the mouth. They can run between the tackles. They do run on the edge, but they're also a very good short passing offense, which basically is an extension of a running type offense. We got arguably the best, if not second best, tight end in football in George Kittle. And then you got that monster out there, Devel Samuel, who he loves to do work in the middle of the field on the short routes and make more out of them than what's initially there. So my concern, again, saying cover those short routes well. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't beating no. I would take my chances on him all day. If we get beat by Jimmy Garoppolo's arm, we don't deserve to be in the playoffs no damn way. I'm not even worried about him. So take care of the short routes across the field, get to the run, stop the run, and the rest should take care of itself. And our offense needs to stay on the damn field so that we don't wear the defense out because we become a really, really bad, poor tackling team when we're tired. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And D. Brown, before you go, I want to accentuate, we need to keep Jimmy G on the field too. Like we need to let him throw the ball as much as he can because the more he throws, the worse he is. If we let him, mix that short passing game like you're saying with that run game, it's going to be bad times, man. We basically have to make him what Dak used to be for us, which was the less he threw, the better. Which it kind of is there a little bit, but very pronounced. We're talking 3-4 years ago. So if we can keep Jimmy G on making him make decisions, we're in a good stead.
Number one in takeaways. So
yes, keep him on the field.
To extend Rich's point, the big thing, like more specifically, when you talk about that short passing game, which Rich, Cliff, we talked about it all year. When we were looking at this defense earlier, when Dallas was hanging points on everybody, but we saw early on what the concerns were. We talked about all year, man. If this team if they get to where we want them to get to, they would have to tighten things up in the run game. And remember, we talked about it early on, several weeks in a row, how much problems they had covering the middle of the field, especially with the tight end and backside of the backfield. Two strengths of the 49ers offense. But where I was going with that specifically as far as this game goes, particularly to the Jimmy G point, the big thing for them is to get Jimmy G and just the 49ers in general to third and long. Where, if we can keep them out of the third and short situations, third and 3 or less, where it takes away some of that playbook and takes away, the flares, the underneath routes, some of the stuff that Dallas has had challenges covering, and make Jimmy G go, 7-8 yards or longer, then I think it's going to bode well for Dallas because I do think that if the more Jimmy G puts it in the air, the more Trayvon Diggs and anybody else has an opportunity to get their hands on the football. because I do think he's gonna serve, and I do think we can turn him over. So got to stay out of third. I think a big key to watch is third down. If they keep him out of third, keep him in third longs, third and 6 or 7 or better, it's gonna bode well for Dallas because you're gonna ask Jimmy G to make a play. If they getting, if you're giving up 4 and 5 yards on first down and they getting a third and short and consistently do that, it's gonna be a long day for Dallas. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. So we'd like to see that matchup, the game within the game, if you will.
Well said.
That's what we do on Straight No Chase, man. We break it down. We don't do.
We breaks it down.
Right. We breaks it down, man. We get real on this show, man. I hope our guest appreciates that.
I get to the point, man. Because everybody again, they bloviate about. I mean, I'm not here to.
Oh yeah. Y'all enjoy.
Yes, sir. Well, so and again, someone with Kittle, one thing he does is block well too. So we got to make sure we keep him in check, so he's not, getting their offense rolling by taking out our main rushers out the picture, because not only is he blocking, he pancaking them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He's a monster blocking as far as blocking tight end go. He really is. So it's a mindset today, man. They got to get off blocks. Rich's, favorite guy somewhere today, and I'm gonna let Rich pronounce his name for you.
Leighton Vander Elsewhere. Somebody put that comment back up there, Claire. Who was that? I think Alex had a comment about it. Hey, man, listen, man. Leighton, I know you sent your agent to our show today to try to advocate for you.
No, this is a different one. Oh, okay. I think you're talking about Alex Wolf. This is Alex Brooks. This is a different one. No. All right, go ahead, Rich. My bad.
We don't want you no more, bro. All we need for you to do is to run in a circle in the middle of the field, and hopefully you get in the way of a couple of runners. We know that you're completely ineffective as a linebacker.
Wow.
We got you on the roster because the NFL mandates that we have 46 active players, and we couldn't find nobody else. You're just along for the ride. You tell funny jokes or something on the bus and plane trips. A couple of guys like you, but we're going to get rid of your ass as soon as the season over with. Basically, Cliff Notes version. Vander Elsh will be Vander Elsewhere next year.
How you say it back in the day?
It's not like this. Tackle, linebacker, they better be going back and forth. First round tackle, second round linebacker, third round tackle, fourth round linebacker. It better be something like that. We better be drafting guards and tackles in the first 4 rounds, or I'm gonna go crazy.
So what you trying to say is it's time to start dating other people?
Yeah, it's definitely
it's not you, it's me.
We need some space. We need some space in this relationship.
To get myself together. Yeah.
I got to be a better man. I'm gonna step away. Let you go.
We're trying to focus on our linebacker education.
Yeah, man.
It didn't work, man.
Y'all.
I mean, he's just an athletic Bobby Carpenter. I mean, let's call it what it is. We drafted Bobby Carpenter again.
He found his way into 2 conversations in 2 weeks straight. That's nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby Carpenter, man. This is about the most we've been talking about in a decade.
What, he gonna play 2 games a day? You gonna add the tackles together?
Oh my goodness, man. Somewhere he's got. I mean, hopefully, man, he can finally make a play. But the corners are going to have to step up and help tackle because San Francisco is going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to. They're
a physical football team.
They're going to come out. They're going to snap the ball. It's the old 3 yards in the
time. They're not going to lay down.
No, they're coming with it. So I mean, I think Brent put the comment up in the chat. Dallas has to be more physical. They do. They got to get out blocks. They've got to win the line of scrimmage. They got to meet them at the point of attack. And it's a mindset. If they don't, it's going to be a long damn day.
When have we been known to do that? It's a little scary.
They better put on the Timberlands today. You better take the Gators off today and put on the Timberlands. It's time to put in some work.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think Dallas got to go in the game with a mentality to run the ball.
Yes.
There you go.
Dallas got to go in the game with the mentality of stopping the run. Not going for passes because Jimmy can't beat him. He can't beat him throwing. So and then like I say, Devo, he's the only one that can move around and do something for coming out the backfield. So that means Michael gonna have to pay attention what's going on with him in the backfield. So it's going to be a little different atmosphere. Or just lining up and they just taking off running. I mean, taking off looking for the pass.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let me hear. We had a conversation, earlier this morning, and you brought up something. I want you to repeat, kind of what you said, like game preparation. You talked about when back in the day you used to prepare for the coordinator, not for the guy that you're going to be matched up again. That I thought that was just so profound. I want you to kind of
that's game right there.
That mindset of preparing for the coordinator. So talk to us about that.
What we used to do, with the guys, basically with the guys on the team, when you playing it, we played Detroit, we played Tampa Bay, and those guys, we play them all the time. So you the receivers out there, everybody's good. So but they got to do what the coordinator's going to do. They got to talk about what the coordinator play with field to try to attack us. Well, we used to look at the 10-play drive, the first 10 plays of the game. If you ever look at the first 10 game of and everything that they play, you will start seeing similarities of what they each time, and then they do it on certain plays. So 10, 15 play drive. That's what I used to do. I used to look and say, okay, what these guys going to do on these first 10 plays? How's the coach doing? So whatever the coach is doing, that's what they're doing. So you got to sit back and you got to learn that, and you got to look at it, and you got to pay attention to it. You got to watch the moves and what they do and everything. But I play the coordinator. I didn't play I learned that from Mike Singletary. Hey, I'm looking at the coordinator, what he wants to do.
Good guy to listen to.
These guys going to make great plays. Yeah, these guys these guys going to make plays on because of what the coordinator. So you take a play, you see formations. That's how you get a bean. That's why they say the game is so fast, is that you get a line on, hey, they line up in King's formation. They line up, and I say King's formation, a 10 personnel, 20 personnel, 50, whatever personnel they line up in, it. Okay, they only can run this out that personnel. And that's on third down, second down, or first down. You have that in your head. And that's kind of like your homework. When you go home, you're studying that night, get up early in the morning before you go to practice, you're looking at those type of things. And then you just execute it in this, and you say you look for it in the game. So you see the player, you see the formation in the game. That's when you look at it and say, okay, I got it. Because all coordinators have a system. They know what they want to do. Some coordinators, they take their 15 play drives and they run it, and then in 2 weeks later they don't run that. They change it. They don't change it up. They first what they're doing. They put the last play at the top, last play in the middle, and they just go from there, and they just start working it that way. But you just got to pay against the coordinators, and that's the thing that I think these corners don't understand. You ain't got to run and be blazing. When I was young, I was going fast, 5 tilt, 100 miles of running. When I got older, a little bit older, a couple of years later, I started understanding when the game plan and stuff was going on. I slowed down, and then the game comes so much easier to you.
Man, that is some genius
input.
I mean, boy, that is some remarkable input.
Y'all thought we just be talking. Y'all thought we just be whistling Dixie around here. So don't take my word for it. You heard from
you heard from the mouth of the horse, man.
Man, something you said there.
Yeah,
I want to ask you about there again. When you mentioned studying personnel packages, like you said, when you would see a certain package like 10 or what have you, and just from the alignment from having studied that that they can only run so many plays out of that formation. How many of players, or from a percentage standpoint, do you think rely so much on their athletic ability, since these guys are such tremendous athletes nowadays coming into college? I mean, coming into the pros from the college ranks. How many guys, or from a percentage standpoint, do you think take that time or even embrace, studying coordinators and their tendencies and like the template scripts and formations and do those things to make the game slow down and make the game easier? When I say easier from the standpoint of recognition to play versus, from what you did and how you prepped against coordinators. I think that's a fascinating point.
Well, okay, and here goes what you say, because I'm gonna take it down even lower down to the bottom part of it. Let's go to high school right now. Teach man to man, and they work on a certain system inside the front line to do whatever they do, man to man. They don't have no issues. They don't understand. The corners don't understand why they playing man or why they doing anything. Okay, you get to the college area, you got certain teams, they understand it. You got the Alabamas, you got the Georgias, you got the top-notch five, the master five that understand, okay, this is like a college, so the coaches are teaching certain stuff off up in there. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, you got the Texas Techs and all these other guys, Texas and down the line, they teaching the same thing, but they're not strong at teaching. They're teaching with their system, but they're not letting these guys know what the system and what's going on. And they guys are not really the coordinator, because the offense coordinators do the same thing for the first 15 plays. And I guarantee you, if you look at Brady, you look at how they're going to do it, watch first 15 plays. Then see what his first 15 plays is going to be next week. And I guarantee you it's going to be a little mixture. If you get formation, and personnel is very important, because 10 personnel, you got 4 wide eyes. A tight end in the game. And then you got the 21 personnel, we got 2 tight ends, running back, and all this other type of stuff. You got to understand that. Once you understand that player and then you'll understand what's going on. And that's the key to playing football, is understanding. These guys don't understand coverages. They cover too. I mean, my coach for Lovey teaches Tampa 2, but his Tampa 2 because he understands Tampa 2, so he teaches guys what to do. So yeah, thing is, if these guys learn a little bit more out of school about personnel, and these guys are so good of an athlete now. I mean, the way these guys, they 6'3", 6'4", running 4.2s and 4.3s is I mean, you run up trying to hit a guy like Terrell Owens back in the day running that strong, and you may break off the shoulder or something, but that's what happened back then. We come with a little bit more power, a little bit more hit. But the different part is that these guys are so good of athletes that they mental they smartness of the game is not really there. Like CeeDee Lamb, I think he's a good receiver. I think he's going to be one of the best receivers. Is he the best receiver ever that wore 88 in Dallas? No, not yet. But if he gets in that game plan and start watching what's going on, he will become probably one of the best receivers to play the game. And you got another kid over there playing for Dallas right now. Good is Wilson. He kind of figuring out what's going on. If they get their mind right and understand the process of the game, they'll be.
Boy, that's good stuff, man.
It seems like they forgot about the old adage that this is what the old school coaches. This is how I learned the whole concept of understanding what's there on the field. This is my old coach. He was one of them old heads that ride around with the 8-track in the Cadillac, and he listened to Frankie and Beverly and Mays all day. And he used to teach us Frankie, Beverly and Mays. Joy, pain, sunshine, and rain, down distance formation situation. You had that stuck in your head. What's the down? What's the distance?
Yeah.
What's the situation? What formation are they in? That's how you figure out what do you think is about to happen. It narrows down the probability for you, so you know what's about to come next. That's how it keeps your game. It keeps your mind fresh. It keeps you focused on what's about to happen. Because football is a football game is built one brick at a time, and you need to figure out where they're going to lay the next brick. And you do your part to either put the brick down or stop the brick from being put down, depending on what your role is on the team. That's just it. A lot of these players nowadays, they spend 9, 10, 12 hours in the gym and they like 10 minutes in the film room. And that necessarily isn't
that's a problem.
Right. That's why you got all these athletic freaks out here that can't play
in the playbook. I wish I had a playbook. Yeah, I wish I had a playbook about that thick. And it goes through everything from top of the line to the bottom of the line, or whatever, from the defensive line all the way to the back end of what's going on. And you read detail by detail. And I remember going playing back in the day, and I was really not in my playbook. But Mike Dicker said, you better get in your playbook, or you're not going. I mean, Mike Singletary said you better get in your playbook, or you're not going to be here. And I coverage I ran. I broke on it. It was cover 3, but I played cover 1 and broke on it like man to man. And when I broke on man to man, the tight end went up the field and post corner behind my back, and he called the Dicker out the court and said, "Who told you?" I said, "Coach, they told me it was cover 1 coming to the sideline." He said, "You get your play from the Mike linebacker." I said, "Okay." So from that point on, when I went back to the room, I got back the book, That morning, I stayed up all. I played going all the way through the. Said some. Do that, lay on down on have the cover 3 move over to here, and then the safety gonna drop over the top. He said, "You've been reading your book." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, sir. I've been reading my book
good stuff.
because I had to know everything
man.
that's going on. If you don't know what's going on, you're not gonna take care of your business." I read one day from front to back, and then I memorized on safeties, and I kind of put what we did in college to the same that they was doing in the pros, and I kind of put it together. But I was into it, so my mind was working. So once you start thinking out there, you want to react. You don't want to think. So you're already understanding what's going on. And that's what these kids are doing now. They get beat on some crazy plays, especially on the bombs and the deep ball. Hey, his eyes get big, to him, you put your hand.
That's game, man.
Some good old-fashioned football talk here, y'all.
Grab out and catch the ball. To get there is the Jerry Rices, the Andre Rison, the Sterling Sharps, and I seen one kid the other day, I can't remember who he was, but he reached out and boom, just caught him when the ball came. DB couldn't do anything. But, you got to fade into him as a DB. You got to get your hands up. And all these fade stop. These are the dumbest route is the fade stop route because they don't even play it. They throw it in their shoulder. Do a sit back and look at the receiver and put your pocket. That's where the quarterback's trying to get the ball to. And you get it and turn that way. Or if it's not there, you turn and roll your shoulders. But this technique that these guys don't do, and then this technique these guys they look at it and don't see it. And then you got coaches who just been coaching the same thing over and over and over again. We recycle coaches like it's nothing. So
man,
when you recycle coaches, they don't have new blood come in. Back then when we wanted to come in, we couldn't get in. Now that we want to go. But now that we want to go in and everything and help out, we can't help out because they got all the young ones in there and everybody else. They're gonna do what they've been taught and what they think is new and what's gonna happen. But that zone read RPO, that was all in high school back in 2006, 7, and 8. That was a high school offense that everybody's running. So they doing it in the pros now. So it's just trickling on down. The only thing different is the quarterbacks. They're gonna be like the Michael. It's gonna be that way. Burrow, he's gonna be the Brady to me. I think Burrow will be the next Brady to me because he's the only guy that's gonna sit back in that pocket and throw that ball. And he's a good quarterback.
And read, right.
So
hey, man,
you just gotta look at how everybody's going. You gotta look at how the offense is going.
Man, I gotta drop a dollar mark on that.
Nuggets.
Somebody passed the crackers and the ASAP energy drink because we just had communion right here.
Ooh,
right here.
Right there.
That's the lemon head breaking it down for him.
Golly. Boy, I'm listening like a little kid, man. I'm just taking all that game in.
Goodness gracious.
Y'all want to see me next week?
I'm calling you Joel Osteen Lemonhead.
Listen, man. Next week, I'm stealing all that shit. You better be in your playbook because if you ain't in your playbook, I'm stealing all that
Joel Osteen Lemonhead.
Damn, that's game.
And you know what's so crazy though? You know what's so funny? We need to get these Pee-wee coaches up there stop running toss left, toss right, the best kid, and trying to win and teach these kids football and make them smarter while they're younger. They'll be more efficient when they get older.
Guys, I got a surprise for y'all. We got another NFL head in the building. My man Jamie Winborn. My man Jamie Winborn in the building. Hold on, man. See, we getting y'all here. Mr. Winborn, how are you, sir?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
What's up, brother? How we doing today?
Well, man. Yes, sir. Happy to have you, man. I'm sorry I left you that link late to April, but come on in, my brother, because let me hit over here dropping these gems, man. You can't let them out.
It's a revival session. It's a football revival session going on.
We bringing in all the pastors, PDJ.
You know we need that sometimes, man. We need this sometimes, man.
Everybody,
all the pastors, God.
All the pastors, either the visitors, members, and the friends and family collection plate going around.
Everybody coming in.
Yeah, so what you got for us, man? I know you were a former 49er. I know it's a big game. What's some of the things you see that's going to go on? You know what? Before you go, let me hit these sponsors real quick because we ain't hit them in a minute.
Right,
ASAPEnergydrink.com, show sponsor. Y'all know we keep the show going. They got all the ingredients you like. It's the energy drink that works as hard as you do. Y'all go to, it's a black-owned military, veteran-owned as well.
Yes.
ASAP Energy Drinks, also Jeanious podcast. Talk about all the stuff we need to talk about as a community, relationships, love, effery, how we indulge in all that. So yeah, they got you covered. It's youtube.com. Let me get that link for you guys.
Y'all tap
youtube.com/Jeanious Talks. Y'all hop in there. Because we got a show for y'all, man. So we ain't cheating you at all. We got these NFL minds on here. So y'all show love to our sponsors. They broke bread to be sponsored here. Mr. Winborn, you got the floor.
You talking about with the 49er game, right?
Yes, sir. No, the Cowboys game.
I think this is gonna be a battle of defenses, man. Both teams have pretty good defense, man, and both teams can hit you, on offense. But my ultimate prediction though is the 49ers, man. I just think that I like their defense a little bit better. I think their defense controls the game a little bit better, and that the Cowboys have some holes over there on defense, some areas where I think they could they got to get better. But they've made it this far. But ultimately, man, I think 49ers are going to take it.
Okay. It wouldn't be because the 49ers were your former stop.
No, know what? Actually, it's crazy because I grew up in Texas as well. So, that I was always a big Cowboys fan as well. But when I look at them, you notice about the Cowboys is teams can move the ball on them sometimes, and sometimes they can get the big plays on them. I just think that the 49ers, and like I said, I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think the 49ers, they have a better way of controlling the game and slowing the game down on defense, because it's going to have to come to that, especially when you're playing against, Dak Prescott and stuff. So, they're going to have to do a good job over there. So, but I think that the 49ers have a little bit more on offense for them. Especially in the playoffs, man, they always seem to come up with some tricky plays and stuff that people hadn't seen, and it usually causes teams problems in the playoffs for them. So, but I'm going with the 49ers, man. Not because they were the team that drafted me, though.
Well, let me ask you this. So, as a former linebacker, man, how would you?
Yeah, I thought you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let me hear. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
You got tongue tied.
You got tongue tied.
Yeah. Now
I'm going with tongue tied over there.
Now, trust me.
I said, I hope we didn't tongue tied over there. He said he's going to the Cowboys. Oh, I'm going for.
Yeah. That happens to me sometimes.
That's awesome, man. And so I wanted to ask you, Jamie, man. So you being a former linebacker, how would you approach this game if you were a Cowboys linebacker, which we know a guy we affectionately call Leighton Van elsewhere. How would you approach this 49ers run attack if you line up at linebacker in your day?
You know what? You got to follow your keys, and you got to stay true to the rules. That's what I think, because they do a lot of misdirection, and then they hit you with a lot of that old Denver Bronco off running game, where they try to stretch you out and get the cutbacks all the time. So you really got to, fight to get to your gap. You got to be you can't be late all day, because that's how the game opens up in the running game for you. So you got to make sure you get to your gap and you stay in it. And even on plays where it doesn't look like the plays even kind of coming my way, you need to get on over to your gap. You got to be on your keys, and you got to handle your responsibility, man. That's going to be the only way, because they're going to be going left, right. They're going to be, throwing tricky stuff at you that looks like this, but you got to just stick to your keys and stick to your rules in this game, because, they're going to test you and see if you're disciplined.
That's pretty much what Lemon here was saying. I love it. We got the continuity with staying true to the scouting report, knowing what they do is sticking to your assignment and not trying to make magic as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So okay, Jamie, making sure those NFL minds together.
I'm interested for you two guys. You know, I don't know how much 49ers football you watch this year. What do you think about their secondary? Because I mean, you have starting today. You have Josh Norman, who's like 187 years old, at one corner position, and then Emmanuel Mosley. I'll just turn it over to you guys, see what you think of you know those two guys. But you know, you got I think youth and age at the same time. So how does that factor into you know how they going to be able to cover those Cowboys receivers, man? You got to deal with Murray
that's actually what you need. You need a guy back there to keep guys calm. Which you know, Norman is he's up there in age at this point. But what you do need is you need a guy back there. We always call him the general. You know, I've had several safeties that they like you said they were up in age a little bit, but I like them and I always call them the general of the defense because they're gonna slow the game down for these young guys because young guys are gonna panic at times. There's gonna be plays and formations that come up that wasn't really on scouting reports, and it's gonna be up to that elderly safety to be like, look, hey, just calm down out there. This is cool. And on the sideline, there's going to be a hell of a lot of communication that's going to be very, very important, because the young guy's going to come off and they're not really going to be able to say what they're really seeing. But that older safety can slow that game down for them and help them and make sure they get them in the right position, get them into the right calls, get them in the right defenses, to make a play. Because the young guys have talent. Just because we don't, you may not know a guy's name because he wasn't drafted high and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to step on the green and you got to prove yourself. And you have to and the only way you can do that is an opportunity, which is what this stage is for these guys. So today some stars will be made and some will be broken.
Yes. That's good stuff, Jamie. That's good stuff right there. Love it. That's outstanding. Jamie, I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, based on this is D Brown, man. I had a question for you. You brought up something with regard to, particularly in the 49ers case, and I agree with you, how they will come up offensively with a play or a set of plays or a look that defenses hadn't really seen in the season. They seem to be creative that way and hit you. I remember even for the most part in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yep.
They were the play calling until things got sideways at the end was genius. So with that said, and you mentioned this is what made me think about my question. You mentioned how young guys, when you get to the stage, the eyes get big, heart gets pumping a little faster, and they not panic or just tend to speed themselves up. Do you anticipate? We've got a cornerback in the Cowboys, obviously Trayvon Diggs having a monster year. 11 picks and all that, but he has a tendency to jump routes and has a tendency to be overly aggressive. Do you anticipate the 49ers looking to take advantage of stuff of that in the back end, knowing that the Cowboys may be loading up to stop the run?
Absolutely. I expect 2 or 3 deep overs behind him. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and step out there and say I expect them to catch them in some kind of 2 or even man and come with a fake screen and come with the deep over like Patrick Mahomes runs all the time anyway behind Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows he's a ball hawk and that's the way you make your name for yourself. You got to make plays at times. But in this particular situation, I'm pretty sure that they've told him that too. You got a ton of scouts that are scouting their own team and trying to see if I can find some type of pattern in how you playing and all of this kind of stuff. So his coaches have coached him up. Hey, expect this, expect that. But once them lights come on, he's gonna go back. He's gonna revert to what he is.
Right.
And so I do expect them to try and take advantage of that. And when I was saying the same keys for the keys for Dallas going to be the same keys for the 49ers, but they typically don't have that kind of problem with the guys jumping balls and stuff like that. It's just kind of they get beat because they have young players sometimes. But
right.
Like you said, it's he's going to have to stay on his keys this game. He's going to really have to play a disciplined disciplined game out there today. You know, because if he doesn't, it's going to cost him. You know, and nobody will care about the 11 picks that you had if it's you that cost us a playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's definitely
scared, though. You know, I mean,
there's a difference between playing scared and playing smart.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that discipline, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's
you know,
as a Cowboy fan, that's what we're concerned about is the lack of discipline. You know, because we've been concerned all year. There's some of the things that you and both Lemonhead touched on. You know, Jamie, we've been barking on this show all year, even when they had the long winning streak, about how concerning it was about how Dallas's weaknesses, noted weaknesses, stopping the run.
Yeah,
and it seems like Leighton Vander Esch lost his edge since he had the big year a few years ago. We've actually seen film. We've talked about it on this show. We've seen film where he's not even engaging tacklers and taking on, in the holes and in the gaps. You know, it's like you can't lose your edge. And I know I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to your experience, but you can't lose your edge as a linebacker to take on plays and gaps to help stuff to run and what you recognize. We've actually seen film of him running around to not engage with the blockers, and it's like that's a concerning thing when you got a team that's as committed to running the football as well as they do, particularly with a cutback scheme like the old Broncos used to do in this matchup. So although we're optimistic about, and obviously hopeful as being Dallas fans, but we got real concern, and we've had real concern all year about a matchup that features a strong running game and where our opportunistic DBs are susceptible to be overly aggressive in making a play and get beat over the top.
Yeah, you just summed it all up right there, man. Like you said, when you asked me that question, I was basically saying the same thing. I was saying the same thing. I just wasn't breaking it down as in detail as what you're saying. Like, I was talking with somebody the other day, and we were talking about Michael Parsons and stuff like that. I said, well, look, behind as a rusher, he's a defensive player of the year, but as a stand-up linebacker, he still has a long way to go.
I agree.
I said, he's not attacking and stuff quite to his potential yet. And matter of fact, all of the backers, I see, like you said, I see him running around blocks and stuff like that. Something that you're not going to be able to do today. You get out of that gap today, you're going to get gashed for 20, 30 yards.
Right.
And that's a big concern. Tendency, like you said, of not attacking downhill at the times when they need to. And that's really what I was saying. I just didn't break it down like you did, but that's my concern with them, because the 49ers, when they start running that ball, they're very, very, very good at running that football. And they can run it from a multitude of
and that's the thing
personnel.
That's the thing will scare you the most.
Indeed. Well, it's good to tap into, an NFL vet, man. And throw some back and forth. At least halfway, feel good about that. I know a little bit of what I'm looking at.
There you go.
Y'all guys are dead on, man. Y'all
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you about to say something? Let me hear what you got.
And I want to go one further back. Yeah, I want to go one further back because we got on Diggs and confidence as a corner. That's the biggest thing. If you got confidence as a corner, you're gonna be able to play, jump, do what you do on that field. I'm gamble too. I jump a ball, I pick it off. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna get 2 picks. I'm trying to go for it. You coming at me. But the only thing that scares me about Diggs, he has gave up more yardage as a corner position than anybody else. But he has more picks too than anybody else. So his confidence got to be right there, and everybody else got to play on the field. We just got to see what number 19 for the 49ers is going to do. How is Diggs going to go with him and cross over and go back and forth with him? That lets you know what's going to happen in the game right there, because the other side corner got to play strong. So, it goes back to what the person look like, what down and distance is. Is it 3rd and 5? What formation they line up in? It's just going to go right there to that play when you get ready to go for the secondary. Because Dallas secondary is, they're doing okay, but the run stop is what kills them the most when you're trying to run the ball. They had to run, and that's all they're talking about right now on TV.
And they heavily
Good
feed
stuff,
off
man.
the pass rush. So if we're able to get pressure on Garoppolo, we know he's not the smartest guy in the room. I mean, you can put any of the five of us under the center, and we'll probably make better decisions under pressure than Jimmy G. So this is what we need to do: is create pressure, force him into those scenarios where he's forced to make those type of throws that he know damn well that he can't make, but he's going to make anyway. Then the secondary can feast off of that. We got a opportunistic secondary that likes those type of scenarios where they got, as Darren mentioned earlier, third and long. They're trying to extend drives. They're trying to make things happen. They're playing from behind. He makes mistakes, and then we capitalize on it and make it even more complicated for him going forward. So I think the key thing, as we mentioned, slow down the run. Well, first of all, before that, keep the offense on the field so you limit their options. You put them down.
True.
You control the clock. And then defensively speaking, we focus on stopping the run. And at the same time, you can't forget about the pass rush. I want to see Micah with his hand on the ground. I want to see Micah coming off the edge and creating problems with those tackles and creating opportunities for Lawrence and Gregory to get to the quarterback. I want to see those guys in the middle continue to attack that interior offensive line and put pressure on them. I want to see the short passing game coverage to be well and keep those guys from making those third and short plays and breaking them open for huge plays and for first downs, and then everything else is going to take care of itself. So that's the focus for today. So I thought of I guess you could say a ghetto Spanish term. Los
Ghetto
Angles.
Spanish, huh?
Ghetto Spanish. Huh?
Yeah. So if you want to get to Los Angeles, you need to focus on Los Angles. Los Angles gets you to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Take the right
Los
angles,
Angeles.
run the right angles, you get to Los Angeles.
Damn, Rich. Only on the man did we come up with
I
ghetto
tell you
Spanish.
this here.
Good Spanish.
Do not
God.
Ghetto Spanish.
Hey,
They call it gang.
hey, don't
Get
slip. Don't slip on Dallas running game. Once if they get the running that ball, they might have a pretty good day if they get that running going.
Yeah,
They running back to running the ball. They run. Yeah,
a lot of great
on the
boxers got into the boxing Hall of Fame because their jab game was strong and they wear you out. And then when you're looking for the jab to come, here comes the uppercut. Here comes the right cross.
Yeah,
Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston.
No doubt.
Yep. Hey, so let me ask this about the run game.
You know, Dallas's running game is better than what people give them credit for.
Yeah.
You know, you guys asked me for
yes, it is.
You guys asked me about the 49ers. I mean Dallas's defense and what they were going to do. You didn't ask me about what's the best chance that the Cowboys will have. And and then you're right. Right. You're absolutely right about if you let those Cowboys start running that football, it will be a long day.
It's done.
Because then we set up play action off of it. Because I think Dallas is at their best when they're like, and I think that's the game within the game for both offenses, Jamie and Lemonhead, is
right.
Who wins on first and second down. I mean, I really think that's going to determine how this game is going to go, is who wins on first and second down. If either team is able to establish their run and get into 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, open up that playbook, use your short passing game. In Dallas's case, use their tight ends in the middle of the field, with Schultz, Jarwin's back, or get a guy like CD in a favorable matchup, since I would anticipate them bracketing Amari still because he's still that matchup. And getting in the 3rd and short, and then setting up Dallas's play action, which when Dallas is good offensively, that's when they're at their very best, is winning on first down, setting up play action. But that's going to be the game. And I think whoever's defensive line is the most disruptive, and actually their front seven, I should say, is the most disruptive on first and second down. So I think guys like for Dallas, I think Devel Gallimore has to have a huge game in the interior of that line. I think Tristan Hill, when he gets in, has to have a huge game. We talk about how to get to the edges, but those guys have to get through those angle blocks, get in that backfield, disrupt some things, and get them in 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 9, and do those things. So to me, that's going to be the fascinating part of this game, is who wins the most on first and second down.
Great. Get on Spanish, brother.
And no penalties. We ain't got on that yet. We
Right.
love
man.
on third down especially. That's our specialty. Stopping a good drive, and then we 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, and what have you. I do want to ask too about the run game. So we talked about Dallas establishing the run. And there's been talks about maybe giving Pollard more touches than Zeke or what have you, or kind of revisiting our dynamic with the pound game with Zeke and the more of the exciting getting between the tackles with Pollard. How do we feel like Dallas should kind of utilize both backs going to this game?
Oh, it's gonna happen today. There's no any
You'll
person, a blind man on this planet can see that when Pollard gets in that game, it is a completely different game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's like he's moving 3 times faster than just about everybody on the field.
Mm-hmm.
As a former linebacker, when we got this pound guy, like I take it back to when we was playing my man and for the Falcons,
Jamal Anderson?
No. But after him, when Dunn used to come
Jamal
in.
Anderson?
No, you talking about Allstott.
No. For the Falcons. I can't think
of the Falcons, I'm sorry.
Bros?
TJ Duckett.
TJ Duckett.
And Ward Dunn was a change of pace guy.
Yeah, Ward Dunn was the Pollard, and
that's correct.
Dunn getting the game.
Duckett, that's a name.
He flying. You can't see him, and that's the kind of feeling I see the backers having a problem with when Pollard gets out there. Zeke is a pretty good sized guy. They pounding. That Pollard come in. It's like the boy just he on a bicycle and they walking out there.
It's true. Good stuff. Yeah,
it's true. He changes the game speed wise. Today it's gonna happen.
Sure, one gonna pound it, another gonna sprint.
That's the ultimate.
So you're saying basically that Pollard drinks ASAP energy juice and the other guys drink Kool-Aid.
Hey, that's how you play.
There you go.
You know what?
That's how you do it.
There you go.
That's how you do it. Well done, sir.
Very well.
ASAP energy drink, black owned, veteran owned. Y'all check those guys out. Yes, you got to show love to the sponsors. ASAPenergydrink.com.
I'm gonna definitely
love it.
That Tony Pollard juice.
Yeah, get you some Tony Pollard in your system.
Yes, sir.
I really do expect to see that today. Teams have a funny way of hiding something before the playoffs come, especially when they know they're in there. And you got to throw all you got to leave your chamber empty in the playoffs. You don't have time to be waiting and all that. Because if y'all go out there and y'all don't use this boy Pollard, and the game ain't going like you want it. I mean, but the Cowboys probably won't have that problem because they got Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones will pick that phone up and say, hey, put him in there. Jerry don't play when it ain't going his way. He want to win and want to win now. But I think that gives them the best opportunity to get your running game going, like you spoke of a second ago.
Yeah. I like that. Clifford, you can put that comment back up. I saw the comment from Jamie. I love this comment because this is something we didn't talk about. Badias and Connor Williams need to have a hell of a game if they can play the run game is on. Yes, because one of the things we didn't speak about was the interior depth that the 49ers have with their interior line. Nick Bosa is Nick Bosa, man. We know what the deal is with him. He's gonna be a problem, regardless of who's at left tackle. Or sometimes they move over to the opposite side. The tackles are gonna have their hands full today. Period. We know that hopefully the Beef decides that those guys need some help, and when you see opportunities to give him help, you throw that extra tight end on that side to help block him over there. We know what to expect with Nick Bosa, but those interior guys are better than a lot of people give them credit for. So they have a kid named DJ Jones, who's one there. Hey, that's a solid football player right now, man.
He a dog.
He's a dog. So we need the interior offensive linemen to really, if they only have to have a hell of a game, I like the comment, but they need to do their job today for sure. Because if they start creating pressure and bubbling up the middle of that offensive line, it makes Dak uncomfortable. And we know when Dak's not comfortable, I made the analogy the other day. When he's got time, when he's relaxed, he's like Aaron Rodgers. When he don't, he like Seneca Wallace.
True.
So yeah, long day at the office. It throws
we don't want Seneca
Wallace
Wallace days.
I love the comment. Thanks, Mark. That was a great comment.
Absolutely. Now you're right. You got to put pressure on the guy, man. I mean, that's too good to let.
You could have said Matt Liner.
Oh man,
you went Seneca Wallace. I'm with you. You're like, you can at least got Matt Liner out the deal. The man said
That was Seneca Wallace.
I think I picked him on going to get Mail out the mailbox that day. Oh, look at that. Matt Liner pass. Interception. My bad, Matt. How the kids doing? Sorry, picking pants off. I'm sorry, man. Whoa, man.
We really appreciate y'all's input, man.
Oh boy,
man, this has been spectacular, man. To get Lemonhead and you, Jamie, man. Y'all's like true in-game insight on just concept and today's matchup, man. This has been awesome, and I hope everybody that's tapped into the show has really enjoyed this, man, and starting with our sponsors, because this has been spectacular, man. We appreciate y'all popping on and giving us these gems, man.
You got some real genius talking right here.
Yes, indeed. Gems today.
Anytime help, y'all let me know.
I think
man,
Cliff might have stepped away to get here some day ops going there. But so I guess let's go ahead and figure out, what do we think is going to happen today? What are y'all predictions? Let's get some scores from y'all.
Yeah, we gotta get our guests over some scores. Lemonhead, let's start with you.
We got throw them out there. We got the Bucks and the Eagles. I like to be the underdog, but I'm gonna go. I got to go. I can't go against Brady right now. Just the same way I didn't want to go against Belichick, which sometimes that gets you. And I think Bucks will win that game. It won't be a blowout, but it'll be a nice little game. So it'll probably be 21-10, somewhere off up in there.
Okay.
They're playing in Tampa, so that's gonna be a good game. Who else we got? Got the Cowboys and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Both teams I played against. 49ers will always come. 49ers gonna come with something. Yeah. And they're gonna try to battle coaching wise. This is a coaching contest right now. Because the 49ers, I think they got everything they need against to play them. I just think that Dallas will win the game. I think Dallas will win the game. They're playing at Jerry Stadium, so Dallas will win the game. Who else we got?
We got score prediction, man.
Chiefs and Steelers.
Chiefs and Steelers.
Oh, score position of the Cowboys and 49ers.
Please, sir.
Oh, if they score high and they run the ball, it's going to be 28-14.
Okay.
28-14.
All right.
And who we got? We got the Steelers and the Chiefs.
Steelers and Chiefs is a nightcap.
That's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be Ben better run the ball against the Chiefs, because if he don't run the ball against the Chiefs, they're gonna pick him off and they're gonna hit him in the pocket a whole lot. Chiefs defense been playing pretty good. I got the Chiefs to win that game, 35-14, somewhere off in there.
Okay. Yep. And shout out to our friend Sean.
I just think the Chiefs.
Our friend Sean Smith.
Yes, Sean Smith. Yeah.
Show. He said he's hosting the Ben Roethlisberger retirement party.
Yeah.
That's our guy too, man. Shout out to Sean Smith.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, and then one more game to Monday night. For the first time, we got Monday night wildcard game. Los Angeles and the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, a good one too.
That's gonna be the name of this playoffs right there. You got two good quarterbacks. We got wide receivers that can play. You got a defense that's coming off the ball from both ends and both sides. That's gonna be a game you can sit back at a cigar bar, smoke a cigar, and you can just say, "Hey, I don't know who's gonna win. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna come down to who's gonna win the ball last."
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie, what you got?
You know, I agree with him on that with Tampa and Philly. I think Tampa gonna take that. You know, I agree with that. You know, somewhere in the range about 28. I think they get 14, 28-14. With the Cowboys and the Niners, I think the Niners take that one. You know, and I actually think it's gonna be a little bit a good scoring game, man. I'm gonna go 31. I'm gonna go 31 to 20, 24.
31-24 Niners.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
How many missed
that.
field goals you got from Greg Zuerlein?
Yeah. Look? I don't know if you're a bet man, Jamie, but what's the over and under on this extra point?
Man.
That's a real concern, man. Again, we keep it real on here, bro. It ain't Cowboy roses all the time. We keep it real over here.
Man, we call him Charlie Brown right here. You know how Charlie Brown
he gonna get
Mr. Football when he try to kick the field goal. Then we call him Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown's Zuerlein.
That don't make no damn sense, man. I'm sorry, Jamie. Go ahead,
he got
man.
nervous leg.
He got a nervous leg.
Nervous
sorry,
leg.
Jamie.
Stanky leg, Greg.
I had to. Stanky leg, Greg. Yeah. So what you got for our last game? Chiefs and Steelers.
Did we lose Jamie's audio?
Jiggling around.
Oh, okay.
He may have muted himself. Unmute yourself, Jamie, if you're not done so. Sorry, wait till you get back right.
There you go.
All right, so yeah, he's struggling. Yeah. All right, so until he get back.
Well, we don't want to look ahead too far, but it would be interesting if everything plays out the way that Lemonhead said. The next matchup then would be the Buccaneers, because the Cardinals, if they win, they would be the lower seed, so they would go on to play Green Bay, and then the Cowboys would go to Tampa to play against the Bucs. So not looking too far ahead.
I'm good with that.
Still have to win today, but it's sort of a preview of what, if everything flushes out the way Lemonhead said, those will be the matchups for next week. So regardless, we got some damn good football on tap for this postseason, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Minus the debacle that was the Patriots game last night, we've seen some really good football so far. So I'm excited to see what we have in store.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll give my quick predictions. As far as the Chiefs and Steelers, Chiefs gonna whip the living daylights out of their ass. I don't see that being much of a ball game past second quarter. They're gonna beat the stuffing out them. So I see like 42-17 vibes going on, because Pittsburgh it's a feel-good story with Coach Tomlin. It's a feel-good story with Ben's last ride. That's cool. They talking about Juju maybe back in the mix. That's cool. They're gonna be.
You can dance his ass out the playoffs, because that's what
right after.
So Cliff, you're predicting a playoff berg.
He does. He can do that on the way home.
Oh yeah. Because everybody was talking all this shit about the Chiefs early. The Chiefs done ride the ship like we know good teams do. They gonna beat the stuffing out of there. I ain't worried about that. Us now, head versus heart. Heart is we gonna do with everything we lined up and said. It's gonna work out. But we've been doing this podcast long enough. That ain't quite how it always got them Cowboys. So
we keep it a buck.
I'm gonna say, head. I'm going, because you know what? Something we didn't say yet is the 49ers are not a good run defense team. They're like number 19 out of 32 teams. So I think we can get our run game off. Will that actually come to fruition? We'll see. But I'm just going to give best case scenario in this, because I've learned to hedge how I predict the Cowboys games. Good God. I'm going to go 30. We're going to have some crazy numbers, because Greg Zuerlein, Charlie Brown is going to have us some more crazy goddamn result. I'm going to go 33-28 Cowboys. But I would not be surprised if the 49ers beat the stuffing out of us and they just run the ball. I wouldn't be surprised. I really would not. I'm not going to be in here crying next week if that happens. But I'm going with history. It's our third one. The Cardinals and the Rams. It's going to be a great game. Like you said, two good quarterbacks, two damn good quarterbacks. Yeah. I know, the Cardinals don't have D-Hop, so I know that's going to take away from a little bit, but you couldn't tell that when they played us. shit, it's gonna be a shootout. That's the damn show.
One thing that for the Rams is they had to dig into the crates, man, because their starting safety got injured, so they had to call Eric Weddle and send him the big head text like, "Hey, man, I know you didn't play football
just
for years, so what you doing Sunday, man? What you doing, buddy?"
You ain't got
the
nothing
man
going
on the
on.
couch and he started their safety, so I'm like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, Eric Weddle was a hell of a safety 2 years ago. But, I mean, you've been sitting around the house 2 years in football not being played is like 20 years of not doing something. It's like trying to play a guitar where you haven't played in 20 years. And, I don't know.
Facts.
I don't know. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
he better stretch good. He better stretch good. He gonna pull a hamstring, a butt cheek, a ass, muscle, everything. Hey, Jamie, tell me, when you sitting on the couch just chilling and you get up and try to run a 40, it's something wrong.
Look, man. Hey, look. I try to.
You get up and try to run. You sitting on the couch trying to get run a 40, something wrong.
And I pulled a hamstring doing that.
You heard you
running for the dog.
Yeah, little dog was chasing me. I was calling him, playing with him, and just ran. And
that was probably like 3-4 steps, huh?
That's all it was.
You don't just get off the couch and play football, man. It ain't golf. This is not golf.
Nah.
Bro. I'm just saying.
Nah. You
not that type of
go
game.
Deep with your fine guys. I mean, it means you got problems. You should have somebody else on the roster. We always say the biggest thing in football is next man up. And you ain't had your next man up, man. You got problems.
True.
You got problems. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Finish getting Jamie's prediction. Before
Jamie, go ahead
and get back in before me and Rich.
Yeah, man, my bad, man. I got my boy calling me trying to put bets in and everything. That's what he's calling. I apologize for that, but
it's all good.
I don't know where I was. Where was I?
Your last prediction.
49ers?
Yeah, your last.
You said Cowboys 49ers, I believe.
Yeah, 31.
You said 49ers.
Yeah, 31-24 Niners, and that's where you popped up.
Okay. So the Steelers and KC. I don't see this one being all that. Well, it could be. I'm gonna go with what I think. I think that's the 28. I say 28-9. I mean, not 28-9, 28-10. Kansas City.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
In the Monday night joint.
Cardinals.
I like Kyler Murray, man. I think I really think that Stafford's gonna throw a pick or two that's gonna cost, and I think that they're gonna capitalize off of it. So I'm gonna run that one. You know what? I think that may be I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I for some strange reason I'm in the betting off right now. So I say I give it 21-14 to give it to Kyler Murray. To the Cardinals. Okay. So now I missed somebody. I missed the team.
I think you hit them all.
Did I do Tampa?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tampa and Philly.
Tampa, Philly. I think Tampa will take it. I'm gonna keep that one simple. I get at about a 24-14.
Okay. Yeah, that's solid. There we go. Got him loaded.
Yeah, I now I'll tell y'all the secret. Now I'm not covering no spreads and nothing on my bets that I'm doing.
Oh, no.
I'm just going straight win-loss this
week.
Up.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Because this is not the same type of football that I'm
covering. Trying to get an exchange, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, and some of these home stadiums, I'm like the Cowboys playing in theirs and Tampa playing. These penalties, man, the game-changing penalties been called this year. So I expect some of that to be in the mix. So I don't know what's gonna really happen, man. I mean,
a lot of home cooking and sometimes DoorDash is delivered to the stadium too.
And to not expect that is silly because we've seen that over the years. I know both you guys experienced it in your playing careers, and if you're watching it like to the level of fans that we are, to not expect that, you're deluding yourself. So
Yeah,
all
it's
these
gonna
things
happen.
can come into play. You're right. That's a great
Yeah,
point.
Yeah,
to
the
bring
most
up.
famous example of that is the Dez Bryant catch. We all know damn well that was a catch.
Yeah.
That's
It was
goddamn
very
cooking.
obvious, but
Yeah.
Don't get
that's
me
home
started.
cooking. It is what it is. You deal with it.
Don't get me
So
started.
True.
Right,
I'm
James.
just
I'll
hoping
run
that
through
they
these.
let them play.
Yeah,
There you go.
right.
Let the player
Right.
decide it. I'm
Yeah,
with you,
it's
James.
playoff time, man.
It's
Come on
playoff
with
time.
all
Let
them
the player
crazy
decide.
calls. Let's let these guys really earn what they're doing, man. Because you're changing careers with these minimal calls and changing games like that. I just don't believe in that. I just want to see the game be played honest. Some good hard hitting, and everybody be safe. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, and
Right.
we get a good game, and it's gonna be some parties somewhere. That's what we do know.
There we go.
There we go. All right,
Well, gentlemen, we about to
We say we
land the
don't need
plane
no
on the
whistle,
show,
whistle
man.
before the touchdown.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so we've been going long because y'all sharing that wisdom that is paramount, and I want to thank both of you gentlemen for coming on and sharing that game because people need to hear this from guys who did it at that
They
level.
think we
They
just
need to
be
hear it.
talking, man. So we had to bring in some of the big pastors with parishioners so they can hear the word for themselves.
Absolutely.
Now y'all know what y'all talking about.
Appreciate it.
that, man.
I appreciate
That's love
y'all,
right
man.
there. That's love right there.
Yeah, and we
appreciate
want to bring
that.
y'all back, man. So don't be a stranger to the show.
Well, we
I'll hit you guys up.
will be actually in LA for the Super Bowl. We're so thankful, man. We got proof of credentials, so we'll be broadcasting live from Press Row at SoFi Stadium during Super Bowl Media Week. So we'd love to have y'all back. You know what I'm saying, for one of our regardless of who wins, we're gonna be doing, broadcasting the show for the Super Bowl week. So we definitely want to have y'all expertise back for that. So we'll be in touch with both of y'all definitely for that.
All right, I appreciate y'all, man. Much love, man.
Much love,
All
bro.
right, sounds good to me.
Thank y'all so much for joining us.
All right, bud.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, let me hear. Appreciate you.
Oh, we did forget one thing, man. How can we forget?
No, we ain't forgot. We gonna end the show how we we gonna do it right. We gonna rock out how we rock out. Now I gotta go to work, so I gotta, what I'm saying, we gotta get there. But no, it's so good to cipher with guys who know the game at such a high level. And this could be a 3-hour show because they know their stuff, obviously.
Oh, man, this is good
and
stuff.
So now y'all know they said the same things that we've been saying all year long. So we ain't just been blowing smoke up your ass. So I want y'all to hear this.
It wasn't just me, but I'm gonna ask my two guys here. I think we got some major cosigns for some NFL vets today.
Yep.
That's where it looked. That's what it sounded and what it felt like on this side of the fence. I don't know if y'all felt the same thing, man. But I hope y'all out there that's listening, that's tuned in. Straight No Chaser got some cosign for some showing up legit NFL vets. Talking some
that's
football
25 years of NFL football experience right there that you just saw.
Absolutely.
So don't take our word for it. They said it themselves. So
yes, indeed.
Big facts. So our favorite part of the show,
Lucky Whitehead
Award.
Yes.
Man, let's see. What you got, man? Who wants to go first? I'll go if nobody else wants to go or whatever. Lucky Whitehead Award. I'll go, man. I'm giving mine to Cedric Wilson, man. Cedric Wilson stepping up for Michael Gallup, just doing everything you ask of him to do. Came out there against the Eagles, looked phenomenal. Just a guy who you can just count on every day.
Been doing it all year.
Yeah, by hook or by crook. Cedric Wilson. That's my winner.
That's a great call. I'm gonna go my man. And actually, Cedric Wilson was an easy one because like you said, Cliff, he stepped up. When Gallup was out early, stepped up big time, came right back in, did his thing again. I think he's gonna be a big part of the happenings today. Mine from last week, but I'm gonna give it to Nate Clement.
Okay. He ran well.
Yeah. He ran well, man. He's been a really nice addition. Got that well-rounded, man. Blocks pretty well. Runs the ball real tough, man, and contributing to winning effort, man. So I'm gonna go with Nate Clement, man. And somewhere in this, I think he might factor in some Cowboys playoff success, man. Given his experience, given his because you got some young guys out there, some first timers. To Janie's point, I think he could be that general in that room, for them. So he's had some Super Bowl success. So we know, and really ain't got. Is he the only guy on the team that's experienced that? He has to have, other than McCarthy as a coach.
I don't know of anybody else that I can think of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I mean, I think it's valuable. So we'll see what he does. Who you got, Rich?
I'm actually going to give it to one of the big fellas, Devel Gallimore. Had a great game last week.
Yes, sir.
You never see stats for the big guys, but he had he created a lot of pressure. He had some tackles for losses. He had a sack, I think, that was negated by a penalty or something like that.
Yeah.
But
no doubt.
he was all over the place. He was in that backfield constantly causing problems for them last week. And that just kind of with Micah out, we needed that. So we needed somebody else that could create pressure and problems, and he was definitely doing that last week. So we see you, big fella. We see you.
Yeah, that's a good call, man. And I'm looking for that from him today. I think he factors big time in what they are going to do or not do against that run game. I think Gallimore is poised for a big one. So that's a good call.
Yep. Shout out to Devel Gallimore. Great call out. So as we round the show out, guys, hit our sponsors up. ASAP Energy Drink.
ASAP Energy.
Get some ASAP.
Get some ASAP. There you go. Get some TPJ in your system, god dog.
Yes, indeed.
And so again, this is how you hit those guys up at asapenergydrink.com. Great way to get product. Again, Black owned. It is also veteran owned.
Yes, indeed.
For you jawheads out there, it's straight from the source. It is the energy drink that works as hard as you do. God dog.
Day and night.
And also
get you right.
Yeah, absolutely. And our second sponsor of the show, y'all go to Jeanious Podcast. It's spelled in a very unique way. So it's right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/Jeanious Talks. Go there against. They talk about politics, life, sexual things, relationship, everything. They got you, and they put it in a very cogent way. Whereas, our community needs to be told. So thank y'all. If y'all want to make these sponsors again, it's only getting better because we're going to be at SoFi in a few weeks. We're going to be right there in the epicenter of Super Bowl row, as it were. So y'all, thank y'all for jumping on early because hey, what they say, the price of the brick going up next year.
Hey, man, and look, in the words of the great Fat Joe, today's price is not yesterday's price.
And it ain't going to be tomorrow's price.
There you go. There you go. So, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in, guys. Thank y'all for.
I got one quick announcement.
What you got?
I got one quick announcement. I know we don't talk basketball much here, but I actually have an announcement. I wanted to take an opportunity because of those of y'all that know me, I also write about basketball. I'm also a member of the U.S. Basketball Writers Association. So I got an email this morning, and I want to take the time to welcome the newest member of the U.S. Basketball Writers Association, a.k.a. El Jefe de Hoop Jargon, Cliff Franks. So I want to welcome you to the brotherhood of the U.S. Basketball Writers Association.
There we go.
I got the email this morning. I got the approval. So my dear friend, Mr. Franks here,
that's what's up, man.
Will be getting his new membership package in the mail real soon. And during the Final Four week, he will also be a voting member for the Oscar Robertson Trophy. So welcome to the tribe, my brother.
Appreciate it.
Telling
y'all,
man. Congrats, my guy.
I had to keep y'all in the wraps for a little while, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, brother.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Y'all know
Simon, I got you, man.
I appreciate that, man.
I got you, Simon. I promise you I got you, bro. That's good stuff, man. Congrats, Cliff, man. It's cool to be rocking with both of y'all, man, because like Richard said, people think we out there just at times, man, maybe think we coming out just pulling out of the air, man. It's some real knowledge, it's some real insight. It's that's why the show is taking off like it is, because we got real acumen on here, man. So man, congrats, bro. That's huge.
Thank you.
That's huge, man. That's good stuff, man. Shout out to that.
All right, that's beautiful, man. I will uphold the code.
There you go.
As hard as I possibly can, God dog it.
But that's why it needs to be, man. People that know talk about what they know, and I think you're going to be an asset to the Basketball Writers Association. With your knowledge and your experience, having done it, man. We need people that done it. So that's my whole mission and purpose is to infect and flood the market with people in media that know what the hell they talking about, because we got to drown out the noise from all the foolishness that Disney Sports and all the other clowns out there created. We need to have louder voices from people who know what they're talking about. Drown out the noise.
Agreed.
Hashtag drown
we
out
need
the
more straight,
noise.
no chasing folks out here. That's what we need.
Yep.
We need more straight, no chasing folks, man.
Yep. So, we need more people that's fluent in ghetto Spanish.
Ghetto Spanish.
That's hilarious. Well, so damn, great news to start to end the show. Thank y'all for all who tuned in, because we really put our sweat, blood, tears in this mug.
Yeah.
We all got busy lives, but we want to come bring this to y'all. Absolutely. So before we leave, again, show our good old thumbnail up there with Jeanious Podcast and ASAP Energy Drink. Y'all always welcome again to be back on the show to sponsor a show. Gentlemen, anything you got before we peace out?
Man, go Cowboys. Look, this drought needs to end. It starts today.
Yep. There you go. Slump buster. Let's go. Slump buster. 34-21.
I got him. I don't even think I dropped my.
You kind of went out.
Man, you know what? I got him at 34-30.
34-30. Yeah, I got a close one. I got it 34. 32. I got 27.
Nail biter.
33-27. 33-27.
Right,
yep.
Man.
So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we beat the snot out of them. But I'll take it how it comes, God dog it. We're looking forward to next week, possibly against the Buccaneers, which I do not fear. So, especially no AB. So I'm good with that. So, first things first, take care today. Let's run the ball. They don't defend the run well. Let's do what we do. Go Cowboys. Man, I had a funny Skip Bayless clip, man. It did not upload. It is hilarious. Well, before I do that, let me put this picture up. This is my mood today.
Oh, that's classic. Oh, that's classic. Right there.
That's my mood today.
Oh, that's a good look.
Get your ass out the way. Let me see this. I figured y'all like that one. Dang, I got a funny Skip Bayless one. I'm gonna try to format it properly because it won't. Dang, it's hilarious too, man. Y'all would die laughing when y'all see it. Anywho, Straight No Chase Podcast.
Y'all like, share, subscribe, man. We just gonna keep growing, man. We appreciate everything. So
appreciate the love, man.
You're on week 19.
On week 19. So
y'all tap in with us like that, man. It's only getting bigger and better.
There you go. Episode 18 in the books. And as always, Kendrick Perkins.
And shout out to Hoop Sharky, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Sharky. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Sharky.
Shout out to Hoop Sharky.